Welcome back. I'm Tanya and this is Zoby. And today we're going to talk about Zoby's gear for a through hike and just kind of some of the logistics of through hiking with a dog, particularly a small dog. So I'm going to set him back down so he can curl up for a minute and use you in a little bit. All right, so I personally have received many comments on some of my YouTube videos I've uploaded so far, and in some Facebook groups and forums I'm in. I see more comments on other people's posts as well, and I'm actually in a group, actually there's two of them, that are specific to through hiking or just hiking with dogs and backpacking with dogs. And I've had so much more good information and encouragement and actual just general understanding in those groups, which is actually something that gave me the comfort and knowledge that I needed to be able to feel like I can do this and I can take him and he's going to be okay and we're going to be okay. So as a result of a lot of research and talking with people in those groups, this is the result of what I've decided to do with Zoby. Now, this is me. This is personal. This is my baby. And what works for me isn't necessarily going to work for other people with even the same breed of dog. I have friends who have Maltese. Their dogs is like night and day. I mean, Zoby is seriously like a freaking angel. He's not yippy and barky. He listens very well. He's super friendly. He doesn't like wake me up to go potty 15 times during the night. He eats whatever I give him. People food, dog food, dry food, wet food. Like, he's not picky. Usually doesn't upset his system too much. He's not one of these like super curious dogs that like runs after critters and stuff like that. I'm more concerned about other dogs on the trail, actually, especially because I do see people with their dogs off leash on the trail, and Zoby can get very defensive and when like a dog's running up to him, and that's actually how he got attacked previously. And I had a little incident with my neighbor's dog just a couple days ago because of that. So that's actually one of my bigger fears, that and snakes. Just gonna have to be as vigilant as I can on keeping an eye open for snakes and keeping Zoby close to me when we're walking or strapped on me. So to that point, his gear. Again, this is totally different for other people with through hiking with dogs. Some of the things that they need, I don't have. People with larger dogs that obviously they can't carry, they're not going to have a pack. They're not figuring carrying their dog on them as part of their base weight like I am. People with larger dogs can get an actual pack. Roughwear is one of the best ones that have actual packs that like strap across the back of the dog like a mule and have little pouches on each side so they can carry some of the weight of their own gear on themselves. I know a lot of people, their dogs are fine with wearing the booties. I've tried, posted a video in another video that I did earlier, and I'll do it again here. He's not going to do the booties. I've tried. I've sent back 3 pairs. Not going to happen. So to that end, this is what I'm using is Musher's Secret, and I actually have this I'm taking for myself too. Like I use it for climbing. It's a balm to soothe your hands. And so this is the same type of thing for dogs with their paws. Especially when we get more into rockier areas, probably up north. Very simple. Most owners use this or one like it. Super lightweight. I don't even know if this weighs an ounce or 2, if even that. It's just full up. This is his water bowl and potentially his food bowl as well. I'm just going to double it up. But this is super lightweight, and I just stuff it in the front pocket of his pouch bag here. We'll get to that in a second, and it's where I'm storing it. So people have asked about, what are you going to do in the extreme temperatures when it's really hot or when it's really cold? Well, I'm starting probably the first week of March now. And so I'm more concerned about cold than heat. He's a Florida dog. He's 10 years old. Most of that time has been spent in Florida with 3 years in Tennessee and North Georgia. We've been hiking, we've been backpacking, we've been in Colorado and Montana hiking and out west. So he's done a lot of extreme temperatures with me already. He's really good about it. He does get cold somewhat easily, so I have things that I do to help him with that. He's wearing a sweater right now. This is the sweater I'm going to pack and bring with him for just a layer of warmth. What I like, I've had it for years. What I like about this sweater is that it straps around his back legs, and it's got a little bit of arms on his front legs here. And it's got the hood, which he refuses to wear. But that's a good sweater. It's his favorite sweater. He wears it happily, as you can see. He's totally fine in it, and it does provide a layer of warmth. When I went out in the rain yesterday, I actually put this, let's talk raincoats for a second. I tried 3 different raincoats with him as well because I really wanted him to be more covered with a raincoat, and I wanted like a hood over him. He refuses to wear a raincoat that is that crinkly material that's like definitely waterproof. So this is water resistant, not really waterproof, excuse me. And he does not like hoods. I got this really cute raincoat that has like a plastic hood so his face would stay dry. He won't even walk in it. He just does this. Like, Mommy, no, get this off of me. So this one he wears and will walk in, and it does provide at least a little bit of weather resistance for, this is more like a misty, light rain, sprinkle type of day. Downpour, like it rained for 48 straight hours here in Georgia the last 2 days. When that happens, he's going to be in my pack, which again I'll get to in a second. So there's that. Then this. Actually, I have a couple things stuffed in this. So this is super light. I'll tell you the exact thing. All of his gear, I weighed it, is just over 2 pounds, like 2.2 pounds. I'm not counting his food in his gear weight. I'm just figuring his food and water into my food and water weight. So this is, let me pull all this out here. These are down, like real down, just like mine. His own sleeping bag, which I'm going to cut these tags off, but he actually really likes. We've used this several times now. I got another one that was supposed to be an extra small and like nice and compact like this. Yeah, no. And it was this brand, this Dog Helios. Yeah, no, it was, I'm not even kidding you, that sleeping bag, like it rolled like this and it didn't compress at all, and like it was like I would have had to like tie it onto my back of my pack like this. Like it did not compress at all. So I found this on Garage Grown Gear. It's a cottage industry, or cottage, I want to say market, you know what I mean. Little boutique store online. Comes with its own little carrier sack. This is size extra small, believe it or not, and is still big for him, but he likes it. He curls up inside it, and I like kind of tuck all of this around him. And then what I really like is that this, it's got a little, sorry, hold on, it's caught. There we go. This I can make super tight around his neck so he can like keep his head out to breathe, or kind of tuck his head in a little bit. We've done this a couple of nights when I didn't have heat in here before I got my propane heater in here, because I'm having electrical problems with heat in my RV right now, and he has slept in this. And if it's really cold, like one night it got down in the single digits and I didn't have heat in here, him in this, and I pulled, and you know, this all compresses, and I pulled him into my sleeping bag with me, and he was hot. So I took him out of this, just had him in my sleeping bag with me, and he was okay, and then he got hot. So I put him back in this, took him out of the sleeping bag. So it was kind of an annoying night of in and out, but he didn't get cold, and it was single digits, so that works. And I also have this as an option if I need to, when it's colder, for him sleeping wise, or this is for hiking and around camp. He's getting used to it. He didn't really like these back legs when I first got it for him, but he's walking in it better now. But this is, it's also water resistant, weatherproof, so this may double up as rain gear as well when I'm not carrying him in the pack. But totally unzips, he steps into it, and then it cinches nice and tight around the bottoms of his paws, so it doesn't slide up and down on his legs. He can't kick them off like he tries to do. This is one of the problems with the rain gear and why he wouldn't walk in it, because it didn't have these cinching things. And yeah, and then it's got this little thingy here, so you can put the collar or your leash through it as well. And this goes up nice and tight, pretty high up around his neck, and keeps him nice and warm. So he has a down jacket, a down sleeping bag, rain gear, stuff for his paws, food, water, and all of that. Now, let's talk about his pack. This was the biggest problem. And I'm still not convinced that this is the right answer, but of all the ones that I've tried, it is the best so far. When I have day hiked or backpacked with him before, oh, I should have grabbed it. I have, it's like the baby Bjorn type of thing where it goes over both shoulders, and then there's like this little pack right here at your chest, and he's strapped into it facing front, and like his arms and legs are like hanging out like this. Super cute. Everyone on the trails always like, oh my god, your dog's so cute. You see like people with their babies like that, right? And that just wasn't going to work for 2,200 miles. It was going to be uncomfortable for him. That would start chafing around. How do I keep him dry without like suffocating him in a plastic covering or whatever? So I started looking for packs for dogs. Most of the packs for dogs are built, especially with the double straps on both shoulders, are built to go on your back. Well, I can't put them on my back when I've got my pack on my back. So I wanted something to the front. So there was one that was a double strap on the front. I really liked it. I like all of the features of the bag, but I got the smallest size one, and it still was just too big. Zoby was like floating around in it, and it came out like really far. I'm like pregnant carrying a dog right here. I mean, it came out really far, and I'm like, how am I gonna scramble and get up over rocks and stuff like that when this is sticking out like a foot or two from me? It was ridiculous. So then I got a different sling style one like this, but then it was too small, and Zoby was kind of in between the sizes. He fit in it, but he was like in it. The next size up was too big again. So then I finally came across this one, and it kind of combines some of the features of the front pack with the double strap and the other sling one that I had liked. The one sling one that was too tight for him, or then too big that he was in between, didn't have any like extra pockets or little side pockets, or it didn't have a lot of breathability mesh in it, where the first one that was a double strap one did, and I liked those features, but that one was also a lot heavier. I mean, they're not making ultralight dog carriers. This one is actually pretty light. This is the heaviest of all of his gear, but again, like everything all together was 2.2 pounds. So I liked that I can put him in very easily. It comes open like that. And then this side broke. It actually came broke. I was going to send it back, but I think I'm just going to stitch it myself. But it's got these cinching things on each side. So once he's in it, I can cinch it closed with him in it. I hope you're getting this. You can cinch him closed with him in it, and I'll put him in it to show you. So he's in it and pretty much, dry. But he also has the ability, I can leave it open like this, where, and he does this, I've carried him with it, where his head's sticking out right here. So he's like looking around and enjoying the hike. And then I have this front pocket, that's where I'm storing this. And I also like that having him in front of me, like I have another like little storage front pocket for myself, but I'll probably put like some of his treats or things like that in here. And then when I have him in here, I put his leash right here, which I still cannot find. I have no idea what to do with it. The leash that I usually use for him for hiking, I can't find it. So here's the thing that I'm having some struggle with. You can see that it's got this padded design right here to be comfortable against your chest when you're carrying him. I also like that it has an actual thingy. I thought I was just going to take this out because it's heavier, but it really does create a nice base for him. And for the bag in general, that it's not flopping around as much, and it's something for him to actually sit on in here and have like a place to be laying down. So I put it on like this, and then I put my pack on like normal over it, just underneath here, across the top here, boom. And it's actually very comfortable. I was very pleasantly surprised because I really wasn't sure. And I think the double strap would probably be more uncomfortable because I have the double strap of my backpack. However, something I realized yesterday on the hike was I had done 6 miles the night before, and I only did 3 miles yesterday, so it was only 9 miles it was less than 24 hours. It was an evening hike and a morning hike. So like 9 miles, maybe like my normal like 10-mile hike, but I did sleep in between it. Anyway, my shoulder on this side was starting to ache a little bit. Not to the point of where I was like, oh my god, I can't carry him anymore or anything like that, but I'm like over 2,200 miles and him always being on this shoulder. And this is my side that I have herniated discs on that is always tense anyway and gives me some troubles. Yeah, I was like, crap, the sling thing might not be the best solution. But then I tried just putting it on the way that it's not designed to be, like this, and it worked. He's obviously at an angle. His head was up here, but he was fine. He wasn't like moving around trying to get out, or whimpering or anything to try to tell me he was uncomfortable. He actually curled up and went to sleep. So even though it's not at the upright angle like it's designed to be, it worked. And it relieved the pressure off of this shoulder and was more comfortable. So I know I can alternate shoulders with this sling design. So hopefully this will end up lasting through the entire through hike, and I don't have to order another one, because I have no idea what the durability for a through hike is on this. Like, you can read reviews of your own backpack online for that, but I couldn't find reviews of something like that for a through hike with a dog that they're carrying, because I just couldn't. So I'm just going to show you now. Hey buddy. He's like, Mommy, I'm sleeping. So he just goes in it like so. Go on, put your head down. We're gonna tuck you all in. It's like, all right, leave your head out. Fine. But anyway, so this clips on like that. And this side broke. I need to fix it, but that would cinch in like that on him on that side. And if I left the other side open, then he can leave his head out. He just wants to go to sleep. But yeah, I hiked with him like this a little bit. Just a very simple test hike a couple of days ago. It wasn't like a real hike, just we went like a half mile. And he had his head out and he's looking all around and he's super happy and chilling and yay! I love my mommy and I'm hiking. I have also carried him into town, like in stores, because that's what I'll be doing. Oh, see? That is the problem with this. Now I have to sew both sides. Might have to bring a sewing kit with me. Yeah, so anyway, but that cinches down. This is how he was in the rain. I have considered, anyway, I was talking about going into town. So this may be my, like, going into town. I can put my wallet, some money, his leash, whatever, like in these little side packs. There's also a, I leave it open to give him a little bit more space, but there's like a little side pocket right here. So I like all of that. I might put a little like Velcro thing right here, because the one thing is when I did take him into town and I went into a coffee shop and I set him down at my feet, which normally he just like curls up in his little baggie, the carrier I normally have, but he wanted to like pop out, and because this is open right here, he kept trying to pop out. There is a little leash, I didn't show that, but there is a little leash that I can attach to his collar in here. Yeah, I didn't do that, sorry baby. But yeah, there's this. So here, so I will leash him in, and I did yesterday when I was hiking, so just in case I like tumble forward or fall on a rock or whatever, he doesn't come falling out of the pack and fall off a cliff and die. That would be bad. I'm so annoyed that these freaking side things keep popping up. But as you can see, I mean, he's used to being in a carrier. It was stolen out of my car when my car got broken into, but since the day I got him, I've had a purse-like looking carrier that just goes over my shoulder. It's what he goes in planes, when I take him into, stores, hotels, restaurants, like he goes everywhere with me in that carrier. So he's used to being in one. And again, like I said at the beginning of the video, what works for me and what works for my dog may not work for you and your dog, even if you have a 5.5-pound dog like I do. For me, this works. I'm used to carrying him in my carrier. My other one was like a sling as well, and I'm just counting his 5.5 pounds plus I just rounded up to 2.5 pounds to have 8 pounds of Zoby when I'm carrying him. So actually I want to talk about that for a second. Let me get him out of here, and I want to talk about weight and how I figured all of that out. I have him strapped in and I forgot. How I figured all of that out to buy my own gear then. Alright, so I focused on Zoby and his gear first, so I knew how much I had left to play with. My goal was, when I'm carrying Zoby himself, he weighs 5.5 pounds, he is going to get a haircut, so he may lose a 0.5 pound of hair before we actually get on the trail, but 5.5 pounds plus whatever his gear weighed. I didn't want to exceed 35 pounds tops when I am fully loaded with 4 to 5 days of food. which would be the most I would ever need on the AT, most likely. I've got my water to start the day, and I've got him in his pack on me, and I'm carrying him. I never wanted to exceed 35 pounds. So take away 5.5 pounds of that. I mean, that's your 30-ish that, you know, most people don't want to exceed anyway. And then I had I could just keep rounding up to 2.5, I had 2.5 pounds of his gear. So subtract that, and then subtract approximately, people say like 10-15 pounds ish with water and food. So I was trying to subtract that and then figuring out like, okay, what's my base weight going to be? You know, what do I have left room wise in there for my gear now? Which basically meant I was trying to keep my base weight between 12 and 15 pounds, which kind of puts you into mostly ultralight category, which is why, and especially now that most of my stuff was stolen out of my car, I'm glad that I did. I went and bought lighter, more compact, everything. Almost everything. There's hardly anything of my normal hiking and backpacking gear, and especially now that it was stolen, that I'm actually taking on my hike. So like I said, I said in another video, I may or may not do a full on, all spread out, here's my gear for the trail video. I may kind of break it up into, you know, big three clothing. I don't know. I'm still figuring that out. But I bought a lightweight, Gossamer Gear. Gossamer Gear Mariposa pack. Here's my big three real quick. Gossamer Gear Mariposa pack, Nemo Hornet Elite 2-person tent that's under 2 pounds. And my sleep system is a Thermarest Neolite. It's like the one that everyone uses. I have a Enlightened Equipment quilt and a little tiny pillow. I have a silk liner. I've been debating on a fleece liner now that I'm starting a little earlier than I originally intended. Yeah, so like all of my big three weight was like 6.5 pounds. So then that left me my gap for clothes and gear and, you know, the rest of my stuff, my cook system, all of that. So when 2 days ago, I put everything in my pack as if I were heading out on the trail, minus just like some small medicinal things that may weigh like a couple ounces. I put Zoby in his pack on me, everything fully loaded. I was at 34.5 pounds. And that was with a sampling of like 4 to 5 days of 4 to 5 days of food, not 45, 4 to 5 days of food, and 2 liters of water. Which I probably will be starting most days with only like a liter or a liter and a half of water. But I know there's some areas in the trail where you need to start with more. But, yeah. So that's that. I'm trying to think if there's something else about hiking with a dog that I wanted to talk about. I'll probably think of more as I go along and kind of toss it into other videos. But for people who are thinking about through hiking with a small dog, especially, that you may be thinking about carrying, like I am, I'll probably be carrying Zoby for like half. He's a good hiker. He goes on like 10, 11, when he was younger, he's 10 now. He actually used to go on like 15, 16 mile hikes with me. But you know, I don't know how, I've never done this long of a hike with him. I don't know how many days in a row he's going to be able to do 5, 10, 15 miles before I have to carry him, or if he can hike the whole day and I don't have to carry him at all. If I'm going to have to carry him multiple days in a row, especially if he like does start showing, you know, an injury or something. So we'll just see how it goes. But I'm just figuring on his weight as being part of the weight that I'm carrying as part of my pack. And that's how I'm making it work. All right. So there you go. Thanks.